Welcome to the Explainer. We're going to talk about what it takes to build a successful life. And I think the best way to look at it is, well, like building a house. It's all about the architecture, and it really, really matters what you build first.
All right, so let's just jump right in with a question. I want you to think about any big structure out there, a skyscraper, a huge bridge, even just a house. What's the one part you absolutely cannot skimp on?
Right? It's the foundation. It's the part you don't even see most of the time, but literally everything else is sitting on top of it. And if that foundation is weak, well, the whole thing is at risk. Doesn't matter how fancy the rest of it looks.
So that's the big idea we're going to run with today. We're looking at a person's life, your life, my life, as a structure that we're building piece by piece. In a way, we're all the architects of our own future.
And here's the kicker. This whole construction project, it starts way earlier than you might think. The blueprint gets drawn up and the foundation gets poured long before we even think about kindergarten. It all happens in this period we call early childhood education.
All right, so let's zoom in on that critical window, that initial construction phase. We're talking about the first 5 years of life. This is where, honestly, all the heavy lifting happens.
And let's be super clear here. This isn't just, daycare or learning ABCs. Early childhood education is all about this incredible period where a child's brain is on fire. It's developing faster, making more connections than it ever will again. We are literally wiring the entire operating system for the rest of their life. I love this quote. The idea of a child's brain being like wet concrete, it just nails it, doesn't it? Everything that happens in those early years, every interaction, every experience leaves an imprint. And once that concrete starts to set, well, you can still build on top of it for sure. But going back and trying to change the foundation itself, that becomes a massive, massive challenge. Okay, so if we're pouring this foundation, what's it actually made of? What are the bricks and mortar we're talking about here? Well, it basically comes down to these 3 core building blocks. You've got cognitive skills, that's the thinking and problem-solving stuff. Then you have social-emotional skills, how we understand our own feelings and get along with others. And of course, language, the tool for all communication. And the key thing is, these aren't separate silos. They're all mixed together, each one making the other stronger, creating one solid base. Let's double-click on one of those cognitive skills for a second, because it's a big one. It's called executive function. Think of it like the air traffic control system for your brain. It's what helps you focus, manage impulses, and juggle tasks. Without that control tower, it's just total chaos up there. And you know what's so wild? You don't build these incredibly complex skills with flashcards or like intense academic drills. Nope. It's built through play. Simple stuff. A game of Simon Says is literally teaching your brain to control impulses. Learning to share a toy, that's building patience and social skills. These little moments, that's the real construction work happening right there.
Okay, so now that the foundation is poured, we can start to see the rest of the building go up. Let's look at how this strong start supports the entire superstructure of a person's life. We're talking school, career, relationships, the whole shebang.
And wow, when you put it side by side like this, the difference is it's night and day, isn't it? The outcomes later in life are a direct reflection of that early foundation. A strong one leads to better everything, pretty much. School, work, even mental health. But a weak one, it creates these little cracks that can turn into big problems down the road.
You can even see it in the hard data. Look at this. It's not just a fuzzy concept. There's a massive, measurable impact on something as real as how much money someone is likely to earn in their lifetime. Those skills built before kindergarten directly predict financial success 40 years later. It's incredible. And if you look at it from a society-wide perspective, the numbers are just mind-blowing. This isn't a cost. It's one of the best investments you can possibly make. For every single dollar that goes into high-quality early childhood education, the community gets back as much as $7. 7! That comes from higher tax revenues, lower healthcare costs, you name it. It's an absolute no-brainer.
So let's kind of bring this all together and talk about why this is so critical right now. The world today is changing at a dizzying pace, faster than ever. Because the whole point of this strong foundation isn't just to build a static house that looks good on day one. It's to build a home that can adapt, a home you can renovate, expand, and that can weather any storm. The goal isn't just to get good grades. It's to become a lifelong learner who can handle whatever the future throws at them. So here it is, the whole process in a nutshell. Step 1, you design the blueprint. That's being intentional about the early years. Step 2, you pour that rock-solid foundation from birth to age 5. Step 3, then you build the main structure, K-12, college, all that. And it all leads to Step 4, living in that structure and being able to adapt it for a lifetime.
So I want to leave you with this final thought, bringing it all back to that building metaphor. We know what it takes. The blueprint is clear. We know how to pour a strong foundation for a person and for a society. So the real question is, are we doing a good enough job of it? How strong are the foundations we're actually building for the next generation? It's definitely something to think about.